Another name has been added to the official All Elite Wrestling roster, but first, CM Punk has reacted to rumors that he is the devil in AEW. The devil has been a hot topic of discussion over the last several weeks, this after a mysterious masked man has been haunting All Elite Wrestling from the shadows. As we discussed in the recent The Devil Unmasked Who is Behind the Mask in AEW video, something that you should totally check out if you haven't already, there's a number of potential names that would be a viable candidate to fill the role, though there are some particular key suspects that have more merit than others. One of the most speculated stars to be under the mask is CM Punk, and we won't go into all the specific details as to why in this particular video, but let's just say he's the original devil himself. Taking to his Instagram story last night, the Second City Saint would play up to the rumors that he's to blame for the recent attacks, with him posting an image of the infamous Black Scorpion, a WCW gimmick from 1990, this with the caption, "Who was behind the mask?" For those unaware, the Black Scorpion was introduced as the arch nemesis of up-and-comer Sting, with the mystery man claiming that he was someone from the Stinger's past in California. Without going into all the details, there was no clear direction for the gimmick when it was debuted, with no official plans for who was to be revealed under the hood. The original person to play the role was Al Perez, who ultimately quit before the grand reveal, before the promotion decided to have Ric Flair be the one under the mask. The CM Punk post can be interpreted in two ways. Perhaps he is teasing that he is the devil, or maybe he's mocking AEW by comparing the ongoing storyline to that of a directionless and forgettable early 90s WCW angle. And as always with Punk's social media posts, it's very much up to your own interpretation. And next, MJF is set to address the devil in AEW. Speaking of the mystery man, the devil's henchman would embark on another attack last week at the close of AEW Dynamite, laying out AEW World Champion MJF's new allies, The Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. This before sending Anthony Bowens through a pane of glass, reducing the options Max can choose as his partner in the ROH Tag Title match at Full Gear. It's now been announced that MJF will appear on this week's episode of Dynamite to address the assault, with this seemingly being the first time that the devil will be directly acknowledged by an active wrestler on the roster, and this will be the final episode of Dynamite before the pay-per-view. Perhaps this could lead to the devil and his assailants showing up inside the arena itself, or perhaps we could hear their first words via the big screen. Either way, it looks like we're heading closer to the big reveal and an official storyline between Max and the devil. That is, of course, unless it was him all along. Next up, who is the mystery wrestler in WWE? For the past few weeks, former Royal Rumble winner Shinsuke Nakamura has been cutting cryptic backstage promos, seemingly calling somebody out without directly mentioning their name. Last night, the King of Strong Style would once again speak to the audience in Japanese to issue a challenge to an unnamed individual, claiming that he's going to take their privilege away from them, and Shinsuke would say, "I am frustrated. You are blessed with so much privilege, so I am taking away your choice. The opportunity is mine now. These distractions have not taken my focus off you. Win or lose your next battle, you will only be less than. Not my problem. I will wait for now, because I know it all ends by my hands." Whilst some fans continue to speculate that Nakamura is targeting a certain CM Punk, it's worth remembering that all reports suggest that talks between WWE and the straight-edge superstar have yet to begin. When paying attention to the wording from Shinsuke, he seems to be talking about a wrestler who is already booked for a match on a show, potentially at Survivor Series, with the privilege maybe being a reference to a second-generation superstar like Cody Rhodes, who is set to participate in War Games next weekend. And next up, a major WWE heel turn has been confirmed. Speaking of War Games, elsewhere on last night's episode of Monday Night Raw, the fifth and final member of the men's heel team was seemingly confirmed at the end of the show. Despite shaking the hand of Seth Rollins, who was on the babyface team earlier in the night, Drew McIntyre would link up with the Judgment Day at the close of the night, costing Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes in their WWE Tag Team title match, in order to help Finn Balor and Damian Priest to retain. The new alliance aligns with the report from Fightful Select last week that revealed Drew was set to be part of War Games alongside the dominant faction, a report that also revealed that Randy Orton was set to be brought back to television following his long absence from screens. We now await an official announcement regarding Drew's involvement in the bout. With that said, we've yet to see Randy Orton since the news dropped concerning his impending return. However, it was noted that he would be back before Survivor Series in order to dampen expectations of CM Punk being the mystery partner, with the Viper expected to return within the next week or so before the pay-per-view next Saturday night. And next, Mercedes Moné comments on her future in wrestling. Mercedes Moné, the former Sasha Banks in WWE, would hit the free agency market earlier this year after allowing her WWE contract to expire. This before following her dream of working in Japan, becoming the second ever IWGP Women's Champion of New Japan Pro-Wrestling. However, we've yet to see the CEO in a wrestling ring since she sustained an injury in the finals of the New Japan Strong Women's Championship tournament in May, where plans were forced to be changed, resulting in Willow Nightingale leaving with the belt. Taking to her Cameo page this week, Mercedes would confirm that we can expect to see her return to action next year for some wrestling company without specifying where her next home will be, and she would say,
I cannot wait to return back into a ring, so definitely expect me to be with some wrestling company in 2024 for sure. I cannot wait to be back in that square circle. It's where I feel the most home. It's where I feel alive, and I just can't wait to be back because I've been just healing everything, mentally, physically, spiritually, everything. So I'm really excited to get back to what I love and what I do best.
New Japan's Rocky Romero would recently take to an interview to say that he has interest in bringing Mercedes back to the promotion, although talks would need to be held with her agent, a sign that no deal is currently in place. Adding to the speculation, Moné could be seen in the stands at Wembley Stadium for AEW All in London, watching over the event, which could be a clue to her next destination. But where do you think Mercedes Moné will land next in 2024? Will she head back to New Japan Pro-Wrestling, maybe AEW, or return to WWE? Let me know in the comments down below. Next up, a wrestling legend has revealed the backstage feeling in AEW towards some younger talent. At AEW Dynamite Grand Slam, Jon Moxley would suffer from a concussion early on in his International Championship defense against Rey Fenix, with him hitting the back of his head on the floor after being on the receiving end of a dive from the ramp. This would be followed up by a now copyright-striked YouTube video from ECW legend Stevie Richards, who broke down the finish of the match where Moxley was dropped on his head. And whilst this wasn't the spot that caused the concussion, as Richard assumed, it can't have helped matters. Speaking with Renee Dupree on the Renee de Cafe podcast this week, Stevie would reveal the conversation that he had with producers in AEW, who told him something that he was wrong about in his video, although he added their thoughts on some of the talent on the roster, and Richards would say,
not going to say who it is, but it was more than one, and there's not a ton of them, so you can guess. Tell me where I was wrong, tell me where I was right. Okay, you were wrong in saying that the blame is on the agents or the producers. We try to tell these kids what to do and how to be safe. They don't listen, they can't be coached, and then went on for about 10 to 20 minutes of telling me how I had no idea how right I was with the video. They're collecting checks, and who can blame them? And for everybody out there, I don't want AEW to go out of business. I don't care about Tony Khan. I don't care about his dad or any of that. They'll have money. I care about the people that have paid their dues and are producers back. I care about the wrestlers and their safety, but I care about the people I know that are agents and producers in the company. I want them to get paid for as long as possible. So people want me to think, or I wish AEW to go out of business. No, but I wish them to keep shaking the pockets of the money mark and get their checks. Yeah.
A lack of willingness to be coached has been an allegation made against many of the stars on the AEW roster, with this being something highlighted by both CM Punk and Billy Gunn, with EC3 also revealing that this was the attitude towards William Regal when he was in AEW. And it seems like these aren't the only people that have this feeling. And next, another name has been added to the official All Elite Wrestling roster. Ever since the launch of AEW Collision, New Japan Pro-Wrestling announcer Kevin Kelly has been a semi-active member of the broadcast team, with him occasionally skipping certain episodes to fulfill his duties with his Japanese employers. Well, it's now been revealed that due to him pursuing outside opportunities, Kelly has officially left New Japan, ending his 8-year run with the company as their lead English commentator. The news would be confirmed by New Japan Japan themselves, who would post an official statement on NJPW.com. Shortly after the story came to light, Kevin Kelly would then appear on the official All Elite Wrestling website on the roster page, which appears to confirm that the outside opportunities mentioned by NJPW was an opportunity to sign full-time with AEW. It's worth noting that the full statement from New Japan would suggest that the decision was linked to family commitments. And before you go, make sure you check out The Devil Unmasked, who is behind the mask in AEW.